Well, this morning we are starting out nice and quiet, but later today things could change. So if you have any outdoor plans, make sure you have some backup indoor plans and make sure to pay very close attention to the latest forecast. Make sure to have the radar ready for you whenever you're going to be outside. I know there's still a lot of outdoor plans today, but here's the deal. The storms that we are expecting later today, not everyone's going to get them. We only have about a 30% coverage, but there is going to be a very low threat that if these storms do develop, they could produce maybe 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts and some heavy rainfall across the Metroplex. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest, we're going to be at a 1 in the Metroplex. To our south and west, though, we're going to have that slight risk of seeing maybe some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts or maybe even some very small hail, but that is going to be primarily out to the south and west late this afternoon and into the evening. In the meantime, things are nice and quiet. This is our Weatherford camera. Temperatures are in the upper 70s. The wind, it's fairly light. It's coming in out of the south-southeast. We're at 77 in Denton, 81 in Decatur, 81 in Fort Worth, 80 degrees in downtown Dallas. Satellite and radar pretty quiet right now. We did have a few storms late last night east of the Metroplex, but those storms have left a boundary across North Texas that could help to trigger more rain and storms later today. So looking at the latest timecast, even at 10 o'clock, so here in another hour or so, not expecting much. By about 1 o'clock, though, we could see a few rain and storms develop along the Red River. After that, they start to make their way south into North Texas. At about 3 o'clock, northern parts of the Metroplex could start to see a few isolated showers and storms, but around 4 or so, now it looks like the heart of the Metroplex, we're talking Fort Worth, Dallas, and even just off to the east, especially around Terrell and even west of Mineola, there could be a higher coverage of rain and storms. So at about 30% or so. At about 5 o'clock, the storms are still there. They're trying to slide a little bit farther to the south. And by 6 o'clock, these storms really start to weaken, but they're still going to be there mainly south of the Metroplex. In the meantime, we're going to be watching what is taking place out to the north and west. We have additional rain and storms coming in. They're going to be making their way south and east. This is 7 o'clock, and for most of us, it's going to be pretty quiet, but these storms will continue moving south and east, but again, really mainly staying way out to the west. At 9 o'clock, we have thunderstorms in between Grand, Mineral Wells, but still west of Fort Worth, and it looks like eventually they take more of a south turn, keeping the Metroplex out of it, but there's still going to be some rain and storms out to the west that could become low and severe. So that is why we have that slight risk of severe storms out to the west. And then overnight tonight, pretty quiet. We just can't rule out an isolated shower or storm early tomorrow morning for your morning commute. For most of us, it looks pretty quiet, but we could have a few thunderstorms off to the east. So for today, I've got the 30% coverage, tomorrow a 10%, and then we get rid of the rain chances for the rest of the week, and then it just looks hot. So for today, temperatures do make it into the upper 90s. It looks like for most of us. Outside of that, still hot, humid, a light wind, isolated storms still possible overnight tonight as we drop into the upper 70s. Tomorrow, very low chance of an isolated shower or storm, and then again, just hot. We have low in hundreds for a few days. Second half of the 14-day, lots of 90s with a couple of chances of rain.